So Fred, just so you guys know to start off with, that's a good place to start actually, is a model that I created, FRED, it's an acronym, it's not a person, for game. It's for getting attraction. It's actually a great place to start, so I'm glad you brought that up. I wasn't necessarily even going to bring that up, but I'm glad you brought that up. It's a great place. Okay, so Fred, focus. In order to get the girl attracted, you need to have her focused on you. If she's not paying attention to you, there's very little you can do. So when you start an approach, get her focused. That's primary. Right? You can have all the game in the world. If she's not paying attention to you, you're sitting in a corner, she's sitting in that corner, you say hi and she ignores you, you don't have shit. Okay, so focus, first thing. Okay? The rest is designed around how to essentially provoke emotions in her. And so the next after focus is relevance. Right? You want to do or say something that is relevant to her. And what is relevant to someone is something they perceive as either valuable or threatening. Right? That's what people pay attention to. If you're valuable to them, they pay attention. If you're a threat to them, they pay attention. Right? So you need to, it's another bit of getting their attention, but you're making the conversation relevant. Conversation about the weather is not particularly relevant. A conversation about how her look is impacting how people perceive her may be relevant. A conversation about what it would be like if you guys were dating is relevant if she will accept that frame and participate in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So certain conversations are much more relevant to where you want it to go, and certain conversations are much more relevant to her, whether she even likes you or not, than others. Emotion has to do with essentially creating positive or negative spikes, or creating an emotional experience for her, which will intensify whatever relevance you've created. Right? It's sort of like in fishing, right? You have the hook and the fish kind of bites it, but if you don't just start reeling it in, you gotta kind of set the hook. The emotion sets that relevance hook much more strongly. Right? And then you have decision, whatever the final close is, whatever you want to get them to do with whatever attraction you've created. Sometimes decision can be getting a phone number if that's relevant, sometimes getting an instant date, sometimes moving around to a different part of the club with you, sometimes just committing to talk to you for 5 more minutes so you can continue the interaction, right? But you're getting some sort of commitment, some kind of decision from that. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll get the girls focused, they'll have a good, fun, emotionally charged conversation, and then they don't do anything with it, it eventually peters out and nothing came of it because they didn't capitalize when they had that emotional high. So that's a great model to start with in terms of creating attraction. In terms of attraction, I also just want to encourage you guys that stronger frames tend to be better. So a lot of guys say you want to be confident. I would say aim further. Aim for cocky. Aim for cocky and you'll settle on confident. Right? It's a lot easier to overdo a frame and apologize, or overdo a frame and say just kidding or something like that, than it is to underdo a frame. In general, like it's better in a lot of areas of game, aside from sex and compliance, beg forgiveness rather than ask permission. Okay, aside from LMR. Don't take that to LMR. That's dangerous. All right, but in most areas of game, especially early game, it's easier to beg forgiveness, ask permission. It's easier to be a little, be a little too cocky, and then you can be genuine later to make it up, right? Or it's better to be a little like over the top in terms of your energy and get a shit test than to not be enough and not get on her radar, right? Or even to be a little insulting and have her be like, oh, that's rude. Don't actually be insulting, but to be like borderline and have her be like, that's rude, and back off from it, rather than have her be like just in a polite, nice, easy conversation. A lot of times when you guys have attraction, it's this like kind of like nebulous feeling in the air that there's attraction, but you can make that nebulous feeling solid. You can make it something more tangible and something that lasts more. Here's how. You make a name to it and you get them to speak the name, so to speak. Right? So if you ask a girl in a high moment when things are going well, when did you first know you liked me? Right? Just out of curiosity. I mean, like I know there's lots of reasons to like me, but what was it that actually made you particularly like me? Right? And if she goes, well, you're da-da-da-da, like I've had girls go, well, you're definitely the hottest guy in the bar, and this and that and the other, which I'm definitely not. I'm by no means physically the hottest guy in the bar. But they say all these different things, right? They speak it into existence. So they're like, at first I thought you're kind of a cocky asshole, but like you were fun, but now I realize you're actually like a really genuine, deep person. Once they start saying, these are the reasons why I like you, they have admitted to themselves, they've admitted to you that they like you, right? Or you can say stuff like, and you can say this with tension around it, you'd be like, I just want to hang out with you all night, but I mean, we really shouldn't. But it would feel good though, yeah? It would be nice. She's like, yeah, it would be nice, right? You're getting this logical buy-in, you're getting this commitment and consistency along the way, right? So those kind of things are going to help.